All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation MLB quick hit video for the Thursday, June 13th, 6-game slate. We'll go through and talk some pitchers. We'll talk some offenses and see if we can get those SHIPIT Nation logos to the top of the leaderboards tonight in the MLB streets. If you are new here, appreciate your support. If you could go ahead, hit the like and subscribe right out of the gate. Help us to continue to grow this channel. And thanks to everyone that has been with us here through this journey, but hit the like, subscribe. If you're not a member over at SHIPITNation.com, you can get on over there right now. We have content for all 8 main sports on DraftKings. We have promo going right now. FGWC 15 gets you 15% off any package at SHIPITNation.com. And this is in honor of myself and Tambo making it to the Fantasy Golf World Championship. We figured we'd roll out this promo for the community, 15% off any package, monthly, annual, gets you access to our Discord as well. So again, appreciate your support. And let me see if I can get this straight again. There we go. All right. Appreciate your support so far. Like, subscribe, and then get on over to SHIPITNation.com and give us a whirl. We appreciate you doing that. In regards to this MLB slate, pretty solid pitching. A lot of pitching options that you can play in these on the slate. Prices aren't all that prohibitive, so you should be able to make it work. Spending up in both pitcher spots definitely viable. At the top, we have Joe Ryan, 9,500, gets a really good matchup at home against Oakland. Right below him, Crotchet, who's been really, really good this season. And look at these starts. I mean, 19, 25, 36, 23, 23, 29, 23, 32, essentially 9,400 in a pitcher's ballpark. I want a lot of him today. I think he's a very strong option. Aaron Nola probably gets a little overlooked because the tougher matchup with Boston. But another mispriced option is going to be Luis Castillo at home. Gets the dream matchup against the White Sox, who obviously have one of the worst offenses in baseball. So for me, the big three are Ryan, Crotchet, Castillo. You can definitely make it work with any of those two. If you're playing two of those guys, it's not taking up too much. Play Castillo, and I'll put in Joe Ryan. You still have $4,000 left per hitter. You can get a lot of solid offenses with those two. If you want to save a little money, I think the preferred option for me would be either Severino. You're not saving a ton, though. He gets a home matchup against Miami. His price tag's $8K, and he's been pretty solid lately. 23 out of 12 stinker, but then another 23. And it's a good matchup at home. Or the Arizona guy, don't know how to pronounce his last name, so just say Brandon P. He is, 7,400, pretty good matchup at home against the Angels. So, for me, it's going to be a slate where I don't get cute at pitcher. I most likely want two of Ryan, Crotchet, or Castillo on a majority of my teams, and it's easy to do so, like I said, because of the price tags. Like, none of these guys are over 10K. Even if you play Ryan, Crotchet, you're still almost $3,900 per spot. You can make a lot work offensively with that sort of salary remaining. So it's kind of where we're at for the tournament options. Like I said, like Nola should be a little lower owned in that upper tier. I think those other three guys get way more ownership. So maybe he's the guy we look to get a little bit different. All right, let's go through. Like I said, there's 6 games. We'll go through the offenses, see what we can kind of find here. The Marlins Mets game totals 8.5. Team total for Miami is 3.5. Team total for the Mets is sitting at 5, and Mets are a premier team. I mean, the hitting environment, not great in New York, but Munoz is not very good either. And there's a lot of power in this lineup. Lindor, Alonso, Nimmo, JD Martinez, Marte, McNeil, like a lot of these guys can hit bombs. So for me, it's 1 through 9 Mets. They definitely rank up there. I'll go through and kind of rank all the offenses at the end, but they're up there. Not a ton on the Miami side. Be more one-offs or power hunting. Chisholm, you can always play. Phillies, Red Sox 8.5 total. Basically split between both sides. A little above 4 for the Phillies and the Red Sox. Nola's good. I don't really want many Boston bats. Tanner Houck, not terrible either. But I will take a chance on some of these lefties for the Phillies, specifically Schwarber and Harper. I think solid tournament type plays, shouldn't have all that much ownership, but not a super appealing game offensively. Oakland and Minnesota total sitting at 8. Very low team total for Oakland, but Minnesota has a team total right around 5. And the nice thing about the Minnesota lineup is we typically get some cheaper guys mixed in throughout. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of stack this. It's not going to be a very expensive offense. Outside of Royce Lewis, who is a phenomenal player, sitting at $6K. The price tag is up there a little bit, but man, he's on a heater. So I would definitely try to include him in any Minnesota stacks. And this is another team I'd feel comfortable going 1 through 9. Chicago and Seattle total sitting 6.5 in this one. 2 pitchers we really like. I will not be playing any bats here. There's nothing I like offensively. Game will be a fade. Angels, Diamondbacks, 8.5 total. It's 3.5 team total for the Angels, a 5 team total for the Diamondbacks. And kind of similar to Minnesota and the Mets. It's a strong team to attack. There should be some cheapies in here to make it all work. You're going to be able to get 5-man stacks of Arizona, Minnesota, and the Mets without making any compromise at pitcher. So that's why when I go back to the pitcher conversation for a second, it's like I just want 2 of these 3 guys that I feel comfortable with, Ryan, Crotchet, Castillo, and it's easy to make it work. If one of these offenses appears to be getting popular, the way we get different, maybe go to the bottom of the order or something like that. But I don't want to sacrifice much at pitcher today. So really like Arizona. Texas and the Los Angeles Dodgers, 8.5 total, 3.5 for the Rangers, and then 5 for the Dodgers. So all these offenses right around 5 in terms of their team totals. Now the difference with the Dodgers, it's much more expensive. Betts is 6.1K. Ohtani is 6.5. Freeman is 5.8. Will Smith 5.4. I do think you can potentially gain a little bit of leverage with the Dodgers. People are going to look at this and say, oh, the team totals are very similar. I don't need to pay the big price tag for the Dodgers. I'll just go to the Twins or something like that. So I definitely want to make sure I remain steady with my Dodgers exposure tonight. I want to make sure I get them in. Might be a little uncomfortable, might have to come to the bottom of the order and look at guys like Gavin Lux if he's in there, Andy Pages, guys like that. But I definitely don't want to sacrifice any Dodgers. If you go in and just run this with the top pitchers, if you run teams with the top pitchers, you're probably not going to get much Los Angeles Dodgers exposure unless you kind of force it in. And I'll definitely be looking to force it in. So for me, in terms of offenses, Dodgers are definitely a priority for me. So I'm going to put them 1 just because I think a lot of people might just settle going elsewhere. So I like the Dodgers. Then I'm going to go Minnesota, the Mets, and then the Diamondbacks. But those other 3, very, very similar. I want exposure to all those offenses. I think there's a pretty there's a tier. Those 4 are in a tier of their own. Then it kind of drops off, and you take a look at maybe Rangers or Angels to get a little bit different. But the way I see this slate shaping up is I want Ryan, Crotchet, Castillo as much as possible. I want to make sure I get some Dodgers exposure if I'm making multiple teams, and then a mix of Arizona, Minnesota, and the New York Mets. It's kind of how I rank it and kind of how I see the slate. To me, it's a don't get cute kind of slate. The way you get cute is by playing. The way you get different is by playing some maybe lower of the order hitters or something along those lines. But it seems pretty straightforward to me tonight. Make sure to get on over to SHIPITNation.com. We have all the content you need to be successful. MLB DFS projections, ownership, core plays, slate plan. Get on over there, check it out. But that's going to do it here for this video. Appreciate your support. We'll be back with a full show for Friday slate. Good luck in your contest. Let's get those SHIPIT Nation logos to the top of the leaderboard.